Human ingenuity has flooded the planet with colossal mega-projects. Some were born out of necessity, showcasing our inventiveness in the face of tough challenges. Others seem to reach for the sky with their sheer scale and ambition. Technological and scientific progress has made it possible to build structures that are bigger and more complex than ever before. Since ancient times, humanity has shown its brilliance by creating these monumental works. Today, we'll walk among megastructures that seem almost impossible. We'll dive into the most advanced and fascinating futuristic tech projects on the planet. Yaxi Expressway, China. This highway winds through the treacherous mountains of China's Sichuan province, pushing the limits of civil engineering. It's often called the Stairway to Heaven due to the dramatic elevation changes along the way. The route cuts through deep valleys, cliffs, and towering peaks. To keep the road at a safe incline, numerous elevated segments had to be built. The region's high seismic activity also demanded the use of cutting-edge technology. Construction lasted nearly 5 years, a constant battle against the raw forces of nature. What was once a dangerous 10-hour journey along winding mountain roads now takes far less time. Chengdu Silicon Cube, China. This megaproject stands out for its staggering complexity, requiring incredible engineering solutions to manage its energy demands. It houses the Chengdu National Supercomputing Center, a facility built to deliver massive computing power for scientific research and industry. It plays a key role in training large artificial intelligence models, a field where computing power is absolutely critical. At its core, the Silicon Cube is a giant, intricate machine, a world-class supercomputer. It's a marvel of computer engineering, with processing speeds 100 million times faster than a high-end desktop. Xiaolongdi Dam, China. This dam was built to control flooding, generate electricity, and stabilize the flow of the Yellow River. The river carries massive amounts of sediment, making it prone to catastrophic overflows. Every year, the dam unleashes huge waves of water and mud. Events so powerful, they've become a tourist attraction. It's known as the breathing dam for its advanced system that automatically manages the buildup and release of sediment. Ping An Finance Center, China. In just 4 decades, Shenzhen has transformed from a fishing village into a megacity that's home to tech giants like Tencent, Huawei, and DJI. At the center of its financial district stands the Ping An Finance Center, rising 599 meters or 1,965 feet. It's the tallest building in the city, the second tallest in China, and the 5th tallest in the world. Its tapered design plays a crucial role by reducing wind loads by 45%, a critical factor for structures of this height. Drone light shows have become a symbol of the city's futuristic flair, delivering massive tech-driven spectacles. After the drones are precisely positioned on the ground, the operator sends the launch command from a central computer, and they rise like a disciplined army. In the moments before the show, final tests are run, including a short practice flight to ensure everything is working properly. Outfitted with LED lights, the drones move with incredible precision to form 3D images, smooth animations, and breathtaking visual stories. It may look like magic, but it's actually a brilliant fusion of software, hardware, and physics. There are no pilots flying them individually. It's all a pre-programmed autonomous performance. The number of drones varies depending on the size and budget of the event. Large shows often feature between 2,000 and 5,000 drones to create massive, intricate formations. Three Gorges Dam, China. Built along the Yangtze River, it holds the title of the world's largest hydroelectric power plant by installed capacity. It supplies around 10% of the nation's electricity, driving both industrialization and development. The complex houses the world's biggest ship elevator, capable of lifting vessels 100 meters or 328 feet. This engineering marvel combines floating platforms, counterweight systems, and pressure sensors. The ship enters the elevator, the gates seal, and the motors raise or lower the entire system. Once it reaches the desired level, the gate opens and the ship continues its journey. Chengdu SKP Park, China. Unlike typical shopping centers, nearly all of this complex lies underground. Designers turned the surface into a vast botanical park, filled with lush greenery and entrances leading to the subterranean spaces below. This approach gives the city a valuable public green space, while commerce unfolds in an elegant world beneath the surface. Rising from the heart of the park is the Tower of Vitality, a group of structures animated by powerful water jets. At night, they glow with LED lights, giving the impression of liquid architecture. These towers are synchronized with the park's layout to create a fully immersive, futuristic visual experience. Burj Khalifa, United Arab Emirates. Soaring above Dubai stands this titan of 828 meters, or 2,716 feet, with 163 floors, the tallest skyscraper on Earth. Built at a cost of $1.5 billion, it brought together 12,000 workers per day and required technologies developed specifically for the project. It holds over a dozen world records, from the highest swimming pool to the longest traveling elevator. Its design draws inspiration from the desert flower Hymenocallis. The Sphere, United States. Designed to dazzle, this spherical venue blends technology and spectacle in the heart of the entertainment capital. Standing 112 meters or 367 feet tall and spanning 157 meters or 515 feet in diameter, it is the largest architectural sphere ever built, able to host nearly 20,000 people. Its exterior is lined with 1 million LEDs that power a massive programmable screen for immersive visual displays. Statue of Unity, India. Standing at 182 meters or 597 feet tall, it holds the title of the tallest statue on Earth. Construction required 75,000 cubic meters or 2,648,600 cubic feet of concrete, along with 6,000 tons of steel and 2,000 bronze panels. The statue honors Vallabhbhai Patel, who led the unification of the states that formed modern India. Icon of the Seas. The largest cruise ship ever built. A massive floating marvel. It stretches 365 meters or 1,197 feet in length, spans 20 decks, and can carry 7,600 passengers along with 2,350 crew members. The ship features 7 themed neighborhoods, including a surf zone and a water district, plus 40 dining venues. It also houses a water park with 6 slides, including the tallest one ever installed at sea. Chongqing Metro, China. Also known as Chongqing Rail Transit, this urban rail system is one of a kind, built within a massive mountain city. Developed over 2 decades, it now spans more than 500 kilometers or 310 miles of operational track. Chongqing's rugged terrain and drastic elevation changes made construction especially challenging. At Lizaba Station, the train famously passes through a residential building, a creative solution to the city's dense skyline. Shinkansen, Japan. Nicknamed the Bullet Train, it was launched in Japan in 1964 and revolutionized high-speed rail, becoming a model for systems worldwide. The network connects Japan's major cities via an advanced railway stretching roughly 3,000 kilometers or 1,864 miles. It was the first high-speed train in the world and now reaches speeds of 320 kilometers per hour or 199 miles per hour. Its punctuality is legendary. The average annual delay is less than 30 seconds. Even storms and earthquakes rarely disrupt this schedule. Rain Vortex, Singapore. At 40 meters or 131 feet tall, this is the highest indoor waterfall on the planet, located at the heart of the Jewel Changge Airport. The water columns drop from the roof of a glass dome surrounded by lush gardens and futuristic design elements. An automated system adjusts the strength of the cascade based on collected rainfall, making it a smart structure. When night falls, lasers light up the flowing water, turning the space into a 3D spectacle of light and sound. Beijing Daxing International Airport, China. Nicknamed the Starfish for its distinctive shape, this is a massive and high-tech airport serving China's capital. Boarding gates branch out from a central hub along 5 arms, minimizing walking time and distance for passengers. The project brought together 40,000 workers, engineers, and architects. Its full capacity allows for 620,000 flight operations a year and up to 100 million passengers. Oppo Research and Development Center in Chang'an, China. This is a striking example of a modern corporate megaproject. Thousands of specialists from this major tech company are developing the technologies that will soon appear in smartphones and various smart devices. The building's design takes inspiration from a lotus flower, a symbol of purity and growth in Chinese culture. Raffles City, Chongqing, China. This complex includes 8 towers, 4 of which serve as the foundation for a one-of-a-kind architectural element. That feature is the Crystal, a horizontal skyscraper weighing 12,000 tons that literally rests on top of other buildings. Inside this massive tube, a glass-floored observatory offers stunning views of the dramatic junction between the Yangtze and Jialing rivers. At Yulir Ladders, China. These stairs are built into an 800-meter or 2,624-foot cliff in Sichuan province. They connect the remote village of Atyuilir to the valley below, giving residents a safe way to travel up and down the mountainside. Local authorities decided to build them in 2016, after realizing the dangerous paths children were using to get to school. Construction workers faced the challenge of building in steep, vertical zones, without roads or heavy machinery to assist them. Atyuilir sits high atop the cliffs, right on the edge. In ancient times, the villagers used the mountains as natural defenses against enemies and raiders. They also made use of fertile terraced land, ideal for growing corn, potatoes, and other crops. Taklamakan Desert Highway, China. Feared by travelers, this is the largest sand desert in China, often called the land from which no one returns. The stunning Taklamakan Highway stretches 550 kilometers, or nearly 342 miles, cutting straight across the desert from one end to the other. Building it was a technical feat, carried out amid sandstorms and under a relentless, punishing climate. Blinding storms often slash visibility, making driving a high-risk activity. Nicknamed the Green Great Wall, the highway is bordered by a belt of desert-adapted plants. This living barrier is a clever way to stop the shifting dunes and stabilize the terrain around the road. Palm Jumeirah, United Arab Emirates. Off the coast of Dubai lies this palm-shaped man-made island. It features a central trunk, 16 fronds, and a crescent-shaped breakwater. The breakwater is a massive 11-kilometer or 6.8-mile structure that shields the island from waves and sea currents. A monorail, the first built over open water in the region, connects the island's base to Atlantis Hotel, reducing car traffic. On the fronts, luxury residences offer direct access to private beaches, making Palm Jumeirah one of the most expensive real estate destinations on Earth. The World Islands, United Arab Emirates. Built in the open sea off Dubai, this artificial archipelago is one of the country's largest investment projects. Roughly 300 islands are arranged in the shape of continents and countries, designed to host ultra-luxury experiences only accessible by sea or air. To create it, engineers reclaimed land from the sea by dredging enormous amounts of sand from the floor of the Persian Gulf. A massive coastal engineering effort produced a breakwater made of 34 million tons of rock to protect the archipelago from powerful waves. Han Thom Cable Car, Vietnam. Holding the title of the world's longest cable car, it connects the islands of Phu Quoc and Han Thom over nearly 8 kilometers, or 5 miles, of aerial travel. The system is supported by 6 colossal towers, each as tall as a 50-story building. It uses technology similar to Swiss cable cars, specially adapted for the tropical and marine conditions of Southeast Asia. Corinth Canal, Greece. This narrow man-made canal links the Ionian Sea with the Aegean, significantly shortening the route between both sides of the country. Roman Emperor Nero began the project in the 1st century, but it was left unfinished. Centuries later, between 1881 and 1893, French and Hungarian engineers completed the work. At just 8 meters or 26 feet wide, and bordered by walls that rise up to 80 meters or 262 feet, the canal can only accommodate small boats and tourist vessels. Bailong Elevator, China. Located in Zhangjiajie National Forest Park, it is the tallest outdoor elevator on Earth, capable of moving 4,000 people per hour. Rising 326 meters or nearly 1,070 feet along the face of a cliff, it carries visitors from the valley floor to the mountain platforms above. Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge, China. With its transparent floor and suspension over the Grand Canyon of Zhangjiajie, this bridge is a breathtaking engineering feat. It blends cutting-edge design with a thrilling tourism experience, offering spectacular views of the canyon 300 meters or 984 feet below. Extensive testing confirmed the glass panels could support up to 800 people at once, and that the structure could withstand the canyon's intense winds. Guanyin of Nanshan, China. This majestic statue honors Guanyin, the Buddhist deity symbolizing compassion. Partially built over the sea, it stands on a platform connected to the mainland by a bridge, requiring complex marine foundations. At 108 meters or 354 feet tall, it ranks among the tallest statues in the world and commemorates 2,000 years of Buddhism in China. Hoover Dam, United States. Built on the Colorado River at the border of Nevada and Arizona, This massive dam is renowned for both its scale and historical importance. Standing 221 meters or 725 feet tall, and stretching 379 meters or 1,243 feet long, it was the largest concrete structure of its time. Its 17 turbines generate up to 2,000 megawatts of power, supplying electricity to Nevada, Arizona, and California. In addition to controlling the river's flow, it created Lake Mead, one of the largest artificial reservoirs on Earth. Downstream, a concrete and steel bridge spans the Colorado River. It was built to reduce traffic congestion that for decades crossed directly over the dam via Route 93, posing safety risks. SoFi Stadium, United States. Located in Inglewood, California, this massive venue is both a sports arena and entertainment complex. No other stadium in history has come close to its construction cost, which exceeded $5 billion. Although it features a permanent roof, it's classified as an open-air facility because its sides remain uncovered. At its core is the Oculus, a one-of-a-kind 1,000-ton video ring that's actually larger than the playing field below. Hong Kong Zhuhai-Macau Bridge, China. This is the longest sea-crossing bridge in the world, stretching 55 kilometers or 34 miles. Its immense scale and offshore location make it one of the few modern structures visible from space. Engineered to last a century, it's built to withstand extreme events such as earthquakes, tsunamis, and powerful Pacific typhoons. The structure combines viaducts, a major undersea tunnel, and port facilities into a single integrated system. To link the land and underwater segments, engineers constructed 2 artificial islands equipped with logistics centers. Duga Bridge, China. Soaring to a height of 565 meters or 1,853 feet and spanning 1.3 kilometers or nearly a mile, this bridge ranks among the tallest in the world. Its construction came with major challenges: rugged mountain terrain, dense fog, high winds, and difficult site access. The bridge was built to withstand earthquakes and severe weather, with a projected lifespan of at least 100 years. Qingdao Bay Bridge, China. Spanning Jiaozhou Bay, this colossal sea viaduct connects the city of Qingdao with the Huangdao district. For years, it held the title of the world's longest sea bridge, with a total length of 27 kilometers or 16.7 miles. Its construction required 450,000 tons of steel and was engineered to endure constant wave impact, high winds, and heavy traffic. With deep foundation piles, the bridge is also capable of withstanding powerful earthquakes, common along China's eastern coast. Shanghai Maglev, China. A pioneer in high-speed magnetic levitation, this train travels without touching the track, reducing both noise and wear. It connects Pudong Airport with Longyang Road Station in just 7 minutes, reaching speeds of 431 kilometers or 267.8 miles per hour. The project relied on experimental technology and marked a major investment in infrastructure, innovation, and technical expertise. Svalbard Global Seed Vault, Norway. This underground facility was created to safeguard backup seeds of vital global crops. It represents a collaboration between nations, built with advanced technology designed to endure for thousands of years. Dubai Frame, United Arab Emirates. Monumental in scale, this picture frame-shaped building was designed as a visual gateway between historic and modern Dubai. It supports the city's goal of becoming a global leader in urban design. Beyond its iconic form, it's also functional, housing panoramic elevators and exhibition spaces within its columns. Delta Works, Netherlands. With much of its land below sea level, the Netherlands has developed exceptional expertise in reclaiming land from the sea. The Delta Plan is the world's largest flood protection system, built in response to the catastrophic 1953 flood. Its aim was to seal river mouths and reinforce dikes, preventing the North Sea from pushing inland again. Dutch engineers invented entirely new techniques, including giant submersible gates and floating artificial islands. Falkirk Wheel, United Kingdom. This is a rotating boat lift, the only one of its kind in the world. It reconnects two canals that remained separate for 70 years, reviving a 19th century water route in Scotland. The design relies on Archimedes' principle. The arms stay balanced because the weight of the boats equals the weight of the water displaced. Immosen Dam, Switzerland. Located in the Swiss Alps near the French border, this is a monumental feat of engineering, standing 180 meters, or about 591 feet tall. It forms part of a complex hydroelectric system that includes underground tunnels, cascading power stations, and interconnected reservoirs. The structure was completed under harsh alpine conditions, snow, avalanche risks, and aerial logistics using helicopters and cable cars. Beijing-Hangzhou Grand Canal, China. This is the longest man-made canal in the world, stretching 1,700 kilometers or 1,056 miles, from Beijing in the north to Hangzhou in the south. Construction began 2,500 years ago, with expansions and upgrades carried out by multiple dynasties. During the Sui era, nearly 5 million people worked to bring it to life. For centuries, it carried grain, rice, and taxes from the south to the northern capitals, and later to Beijing, helping sustain the city's operations. South-North Water Transfer Project, China. Conceived in the 1950s, this hydraulic project has no equal in scale throughout human history. Its total length reaches 2,700 kilometers or 1,677 miles, including tunnels, pumping stations, reservoirs, and aqueducts. The system transports massive volumes of water from China's wet southern regions to the dry, heavily populated north, supplying cities like Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei. It required decades of planning and the labor of millions, resulting in a human-engineered reshaping of the hydrological cycle on a continental scale. Panama Canal. This artificial waterway connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Pacific, stretching 82 kilometers or 50.9 miles across the Isthmus of Panama. It allows ships to travel between oceans without having to sail around South America, cutting transit time by nearly 2 weeks. Using gates and valves, the canal channels water from Gatun Lake to operate its locks, without relying on motors or pumping systems. Mules, or rail-guided vehicles, help steer and stabilize large ships during their passage. A typical crossing takes 8 to 10 hours, though that time can increase during droughts or when traffic is heavy. Gardens by the Bay, Singapore. Set along Marina Bay in central Singapore, this is an eco-megastructure with a futuristic design. Its signature features are the super trees, tall, vertical structures that resemble towering trees. These function as bioclimatic towers. Some collect rainwater, others hold solar panels, and all are covered with lush plants, creating vertical ecosystems. Inside the complex is the Cloud Forest Greenhouse, where an artificial mountain and waterfall recreate the landscapes of Southeast Asia's highlands. Pa Na Hills, Vietnam. This is a major tourism megaproject nestled in the central mountains of Vietnam. The entire complex was built atop a mountain ridge, demanding intricate transport logistics, advanced engineering, and high-altitude sustainability. Originally established in 1919 as a French colonial resort, it was completely redeveloped starting in 2007 into a world-class theme and tourist destination. The site features the iconic Golden Bridge, held aloft by two massive stone hands, symbolizing the link between Earth and sky. Burj Al Arab, United Arab Emirates. This ultra-luxury hotel in Dubai brands itself as the world's only 7-star hotel, though its official rating is 5 stars. It stands on a man-made island created using dredged sand, protected by a concrete barrier. The structure includes a helipad, which has been turned into an event space and used for high-profile sports exhibitions. Itaipu Dam, Paraguay and Brazil. Located on the Parana River along the border between Paraguay and Brazil, this hydroelectric power plant stretches 7 kilometers, or 4.3 miles, and stands 196 meters, or 643 feet tall. For many years, it was the world's largest electricity producer, supplying nearly 90% of Paraguay's power and about 15% of Brazil's. It became the largest concrete construction of its time, used extensively in the dam, canals, and tunnels. Channel Tunnel, France and United Kingdom. This system of 3 underwater rail tunnels connects England and France beneath the English Channel. Construction began in 1988 using 11 massive tunnel boring machines, each 250 meters, or 820 feet long. All kinds of vehicles travel aboard a special train that passes through the underwater tunnel. Thanks to this mega project, travel between London and Paris now takes just 2 hours and 15 minutes, revolutionizing tourism and creating a cultural and economic bridge. Fuxing, China. part of the world's largest high-speed rail network. This system stretches 45,000 kilometers, or 27,961 miles across China. Fuxing is the first high-speed train entirely developed by China. From design to control systems, making a departure from foreign licenses. Some models are built to operate in Arctic cold, while others perform reliably in scorching desert conditions, all while maintaining speed and safety. Marina Bay Sands, Singapore. Overlooking Singapore's bay, this luxury hotel and entertainment complex features 3 towers topped by a boat-shaped platform known as the Sky Park. The project cost $5.5 billion, making it the most expensive standalone casino ever built. The complex includes a 2,500-room hotel, rooftop infinity pool, gardens, casino, shopping mall, theaters, museum, and convention center. Aqueduct of Segovia, Spain. "2,000 years ago, Roman engineers constructed this monumental structure. It carried drinking water from 17 kilometers, or nearly 11 miles away, and distributed it to fountains, public baths, homes, and agricultural areas. In the Middle Ages, its near-perfect design was attributed to the devil. Around 24,000 stone blocks were used, each carved with astounding precision. The Line, Saudi Arabia. Envisioned as a futuristic megacity, the line spans 170 kilometers or nearly 106 miles, stands 500 meters or 1,640 feet tall, and is 200 meters or 656 feet wide. It's designed to house 9 million people. It forms part of the NEOM project, a key Saudi government initiative to diversify the economy. The result will be a city in the form of a wall, the longest and narrowest urban structure in history. Great Pyramid of Giza, Egypt. The largest of the 3 pyramids in the Giza necropolis, it was the tallest man-made structure in the world for nearly 4,000 years. It is the only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still standing. Estimates suggest it took 20 to 30 years to build and required around 2 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2 and 15 tons. The stones were aligned with extraordinary accuracy, using simple tools and advanced knowledge of astronomy and mathematics. Recently, the Scan Pyramids project discovered a massive void inside, now known as the Big Void. Great Wall of China, China. Built to defend the Chinese Empire, it stretches across dramatic landscapes, from mountain ridges to desert dunes, totaling nearly 21,000 kilometers, or about 13,049 miles. Construction spanned roughly 2,000 years, with most stones carried by hand or with animals. Around 10 million people contributed to its creation. Mountainous terrain posed a major challenge, with sections having to be carved creatively into the landscape. Watchtowers were used for surveillance and long-distance communication, sending smoke and fire signals that could travel for miles in just minutes. Leshan Giant Buddha, China. Carved directly into a mountainside, this towering figure gazes calmly over the confluence of 3 rivers in Sichuan. At 71 meters, or nearly 233 feet tall, it is the largest stone Buddha statue in the world. It was built to protect sailors from turbulent waters. The head impacts at 15 meters, or 49 feet tall. Each leg measures 20 meters, about 66 feet, both collected in a meditation position. Pont de Gard Aqueduct, France. Built across 3 tiers, this Roman aqueduct once carried water to the ancient city of Nemesis, now known as Nîmes. Standing 49 meters or about 161 feet tall, and stretching 275 meters or 902 feet long, it remains the tallest surviving Roman aqueduct, still standing after centuries of wars and reuse. As early as the 18th century, it became a tourist attraction, inspiring artists and travelers who saw it as a marvel of the ancient world. During the Middle Ages, it was repurposed as a pedestrian and cart bridge, with an improvised path across the second level. Yangshan Stela, China. This is the largest stone carving project ever attempted by humankind. It was initiated in the Yangshan Quarry, a massive stone extraction site near Nanjing in Jiangsu province. In 1405, under the rule of Emperor Yongle, the plan was to move the stela to Nanjing, then the imperial capital, as a tribute to Emperor Hongwu. Weighing 16,000 tons and standing 16 meters or 52 feet tall, the stela was carved but never detached from the bedrock after it became clear that transporting it was impossible. Karnak Temple, Egypt. Not just a single temple, this massive complex includes sanctuaries, obelisks, courtyards, and ceremonial halls, built over 2,000 years. It connects to the Luxor Temple via the Avenue of Sphinxes, and was dedicated to Amun-Ra, the supreme god and protector of the pharaohs. At least 30 pharaohs contributed to its construction, moving millions of stone blocks and leaving their mark through the inscriptions and reliefs. The project required the collaboration of architects, priests, sculptors, and scribes. It served as the spiritual heart of ancient Egypt and the theological center of its empire. Obelisks, such as the one honoring Hatshepsut, were carved from single stone blocks and transported from Aswan, 200 kilometers or 124.2 miles away. Inside the sanctuary of Amun-Ra, Stone columns rise among the tallest ever built, reaching heights of 21 meters or nearly 69 feet. It remains a mystery how they were finished with such precision and symmetry, though many believe they were assembled using stacked cylindrical stone segments. Port of Shanghai, China. Recognized as the largest container port in the world, it lies at the mouth of the Yangtze River and connects China to hundreds of global sea routes. It was built in open waters by linking and expanding islands through land reclamation, requiring precise coastal engineering capable of withstanding harsh marine conditions. Dikes and massive cranes were used to create docks that can support container megaships. Each year, the port is hit by up to 3 severe typhoons. Its infrastructure is designed to endure wind gusts exceeding 200 kilometers per hour, or 124.2 miles per hour. Tuoketuo Thermal Power Plant, China. This is the largest thermal power station on Earth, playing a vital role in supplying electricity to industrial and urban areas in northern China. It generates 7,000 megawatts, distributed across 12 generating units, enough to power tens of millions of people. The complex includes its own railway system, coal storage facilities, cooling towers, and high-voltage distribution networks. Slanik Salt Mine, Romania. A massive mining complex and part of the Carpathian Salt Deposit System. Among its operations, the Unaria Mine stands out, a 20th century underground salt cathedral with colossal hand-dug chambers. Millions of tons of salt were extracted. Each chamber averages a height of 54 meters or 177 feet. Morning Glory Spillway, United States. Known as the largest water drain in the world, it's located at Lake Berryessa, which was formed by the Monticello Dam. The spillway helps regulate the reservoir's water level as one of the few operational plunge-type spillways. It required highly precise geotechnical design. It remained dry for years during California's drought, but when active, it looks like a massive portal swallowing the lake. Ain Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Also called the Dubai Eye, it is the tallest observation wheel on the planet, reaching 250 meters or 820 feet high. Its construction required the development of specially designed cranes capable of lifting components weighing up to 500 tons. Just one of the 192 spokes in its central hub weighs around 5 tons, heavier than many commercial airplanes. SkyTrain, Thailand. Elevated above the traffic-choked streets of Thailand's capital, this rail system has transformed transportation across Southeast Asia. It launched in 1999 as a solution to the city's chaotic traffic and has since become a daily lifeline for millions of Thais and tourists. Built above major roads, it avoids street congestion and eliminates the need for costly tunnels. San Alfonso del Mar, Chile. Located within a beachside resort, this destination is home to the second-largest swimming pool in the world, after city stars Sharm el-Sheikh. Amazingly, it stretches 1 kilometer or 0.62 miles in length, allowing for water sports like sailing. The pool is filled with water pumped in from the Pacific Ocean, treated to remain crystal clear without requiring complete drainage. Eiffel Tower, France. Standing on the Champ de Mars along the banks of the Seine in Paris, this iron monument rises 330 meters or nearly 1,083 feet tall. It was built for the 1889 World's Fair, marking the centennial of the French Revolution, and was designed by engineer Gustave Eiffel. "300 workers assembled it using construction techniques that were considered remarkably safe and precise for the era. It remained the tallest building in the world until 1930. At first, some French intellectuals criticized it as a monstrous eyesore, looming over Paris. The tower has 1,665 steps leading to the top, though visitors typically walk only as far as the second level. It's equipped with both hydraulic and electric elevators that travel diagonally and vertically, connecting the ground to its 3 main platforms. Petronas Towers, Malaysia. These twin skyscrapers in Kuala Lumpur stand 452 meters or nearly 1,483 feet tall, with 88 floors. They held the title of the tallest buildings in the world from 1998 to 2004. Construction began in 1992 and was completed in 1998, establishing the towers as the headquarters of Petronas, Malaysia's national oil company. Instead of steel, high-strength reinforced concrete was used, a solution better suited to the local climate and economy. Linking the towers is a sky bridge, suspended 170 meters or about 558 feet above the ground. Pont Coselta Aqueduct, United Kingdom. This is the tallest navigable aqueduct in existence, stretching 307 meters or 1,007 feet long, and standing 38 meters or 124.6 feet high, carrying boats over the River Dee. Built between 1795 and 1805 during the Industrial Revolution, it marked a breakthrough in canal engineering by combining elevation, length, and functionality. It was used to transport coal, stone, and other goods from mines to ports. And today, It's still in use for recreational boating. Spring Temple Buddha, China. Including its pedestal and stepped base, this statue reaches a total height of 209 meters or 685.6 feet, making it the second tallest statue in the world. If it were a building, it would be the equivalent of a 60-story skyscraper. The figure represents Vairocana Buddha, a central deity in Mahayana Buddhism. St. Peter's Basilica, Vatican City. The largest Catholic church in the world, this basilica is considered the spiritual heart of Catholicism. Its construction spanned 120 years and involved several popes, architects, and artistic movements. Resources were drawn from across Europe: marble, gold, sculptors, engineers, artists, theologians, and laborers. It brings together the finest of Renaissance and Baroque art in a masterful fusion of architecture, sculpture, and painting. Abu Simbel, Egypt. This historic site consists of two monumental temples, built nearly 3,300 years ago. At the entrance to the main temple stand four colossal statues of Pharaoh Ramses II. Its grandeur was meant to emphasize the divine nature of the king's rule. The smaller temple is dedicated to Queen Nefertari and the goddess Hathor. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. This is the largest religious temple ever built, originally dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu, and later adapted for Buddhist worship. Part of the Angkor complex, the former capital of the Khmer Empire, it is surrounded by dense jungle canals and a man-made moat. It belonged to a sacred megacity of 1 million people, which depended on massive hydraulic projects like reservoirs and dams. For centuries, Angkor's temples were reclaimed by tropical vegetation until they were rediscovered by French explorer Henri Mouhot in 1860. Bosco Verticali, Italy. These two eco-friendly residential towers form a bold architectural statement in Milan's Porta Nuova district. Hundreds of trees and thousands of plants were placed along the facades and terraces. An automated system irrigates them using recycled gray water. The greenery generates oxygen and reduces carbon dioxide, improving air quality for residents and the surrounding neighborhood. Suez Canal, Egypt. This 193-kilometer or nearly 120-mile waterway links the Mediterranean Sea with the Red Sea, allowing ships to bypass the long route around Africa. Between 1859 and 1869, around 1.5 million workers contributed to its construction, many enduring extremely harsh conditions. It was a 19th-century engineering marvel, overcoming challenges like desert terrain, a lack of modern machinery, and widespread disease. Canal operators manage vessel traffic in coordinated convoys, as both seas are nearly at the same level, making locks unnecessary. City of Arts and Sciences, Spain. Regarded as one of the world's most technically advanced and visually striking auditoriums. The structure sits on an elevated platform surrounded by water, giving the impression it's floating. Its metallic roof resembles a ship's hull, blending seamlessly with its aquatic surroundings. The main concert hall features sound quality designed with absolute precision. Its acoustics rank among the best worldwide for operatic performances. Oriental Pearl Tower, China. Located in Shanghai, this tower reaches a height of 468 meters or 1,535 feet. And was the tallest structure in mainland China for many years. It consists of 11 spheres, with the lower, middle, and upper ones being the most prominent. The tower is used for television, radio, and telecommunications signals. At night, it changes colors and puts on dazzling light shows, serving as a luminous landmark visible across much of the city. Baalbek, Lebanon. This archaeological site dates back to Roman times, though its origins lie in a Phoenician settlement and ceremonial center from around 4,000 years ago. Colossal stone blocks, some weighing up to 1,600 tons, were used, possibly predating the Roman Empire. These massive stones were never moved, likely due to the impossibility of transporting them. Of the Temple of Jupiter, only 6 columns remain, each standing 20 meters or 65.6 feet tall, larger in scale than those of the Parthenon in Athens. Next to it, the Temple of Bacchus is one of the best preserved Roman buildings in the world, with parts of its roof still intact. Wellovermeer Aqueduct, Netherlands. This ingenious example of reverse engineering allows a road to pass beneath a canal. It was inaugurated in 2002 as part of a broader transportation infrastructure project combining road and water traffic. To ensure stability, The structure was tightly sealed and precisely engineered to support the weight of the water above. Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Solar Park, United Arab Emirates. One of the largest solar energy projects on the planet, this park lies in the desert near Dubai. It plays a central role in Dubai's 2050 energy strategy, which aims to produce 100% of the country's power from clean sources. This site features the world's tallest solar power tower, rising 260 meters or 853 feet, which uses thousands of heliostats to concentrate sunlight for steam and electricity generation. Karakoram Highway, Pakistan. Engineers carved this route through the Karakoram mountain range to link Pakistan and China. Known as the eighth wonder of the world, it's celebrated for its extreme technical challenges and dramatic surroundings. Construction began in 1959 under the governments of Pakistan and China, was completed in 1979, and opened to the public in 1986. Around 24,000 engineers and workers labored in harsh, high-altitude conditions, braving avalanches, landslides, earthquakes, and shifting glaciers. One World Trade Center, United States. Rising to 541 meters or 1,776 feet, this skyscraper stands at the heart of the rebuilt World Trade Center complex in New York City. Construction began in 2006 and was completed in 2013. Serving as both a replacement for the Twin Towers and a tribute to the victims of 9/11. Its precise height, 1,776 feet, carries symbolic weight, honoring the year the United States Declaration of Independence was signed. Sacsayhuaman, Peru. Though often referred to as a fortress, this Inca site also served ceremonial, religious, and astronomical purposes. Its zigzagging walls symbolize the fangs of a puma, but they also serve a structural function, designed to absorb seismic vibrations without collapsing. Giant stones, some weighing up to 120 tons, were fitted together so precisely that barely a gap exists between them. The carving process used simple yet effective methods. Stone tools and abrasive sand were employed until each block aligned perfectly in place. Stones were transported using sledges, ramps, and sheer human effort, as the Incas did not use the wheel or pack animals. Hudson Yards, United States. Built on Manhattan's west side over the former Hudson Rail Yards, this development is one of the largest real estate projects in U.S. history. It transformed an underutilized industrial area into a new hub of luxury and business. The district features intelligent systems for environmental monitoring, energy management, lighting, pedestrian flow, and real-time climate control. One of its highlights is the Vessel, a spiral-shaped architectural sculpture often called the Stairway to the Sky. It consists of 154 flights of stairs, 80 landings, and 2,500 steps, all interconnected in a unique, climbable structure. Millau Viaduct, France. At the time of its completion, this was the most ambitious technical and creative challenge faced by French engineers and architects since the Normandy Bridge. The top of its tallest mast reaches 343 meters or 1,125 feet, taller than many skyscrapers. Designed by Norman Foster, it emphasizes aesthetics with clean lines, slender pylons, and an overall feeling of weightlessness. Billionaires Row, United States. Located just south of Central Park in Manhattan, this cluster of ultra-luxury super towers redefines vertical living. These ultra-slender skyscrapers stand far taller than they are wide, built with advanced technology to withstand extreme winds. Among them is Central Park Tower, the tallest residential skyscraper in the world, where penthouses have sold for over $100 million. The O2, United Kingdom. This is one of the world's largest entertainment venues, housed under a giant circular roof. Supported by 12 masts that symbolize the months of the year and hours on a clock, the structure pays homage to the nearby Greenwich Meridian. Inside lies a complex filled with sports arenas, concert halls, cinemas, shops, restaurants, and tourist attractions. International Space Station. Orbiting Earth at roughly 400 kilometers or 249 miles above the surface, this habitable space lab is a landmark of global cooperation, led by 5 agencies: NASA, Roscosmos, ESA, JAXA, and CSA. Its mission is to advance science, refine space technologies, and lay the groundwork for future missions to the Moon and Mars. Continuously inhabited since 2000, the ISS was assembled in orbit through dozens of launches beginning in 1998. It completes an orbit around the planet every 90 minutes, meaning astronauts on board witness 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets every Earth Day. Vasco da Gama Bridge, Portugal. Spanning the Tagus River estuary in Lisbon, this bridge stretches 12.3 kilometers or 7.6 miles, making it the longest in Western Europe. Inaugurated in 1998, it symbolized a modern connection between Europe and the wider world, just as the explorer Vasco da Gama did 5 centuries earlier. It was engineered with seismic isolators that allowed it to flex during earthquakes without collapsing, withstanding tremors up to 8.5 magnitude. Despite its scale, the project was completed in just 36 months, thanks to intensive prefabrication, modular segmentation, and round-the-clock construction shifts. Large Hadron Collider, Switzerland and France. This underground circular particle accelerator stretches beneath the Swiss-French border. Its goal is to smash protons or heavy nuclei together at extreme speeds to simulate conditions just after the Big Bang. No other scientific facility matches its scale. It cost $10 billion, took a decade to build, and involved components manufactured in dozens of countries. Shanghai World Financial Center, China. Known for its distinctive trapezoidal opening at the top, it's often nicknamed the bottle opener. Designed as a global financial hub, it houses office spaces, luxury hotels, and shopping centers. The massive cutout near the summit isn't just for looks. It reduces wind pressure and improves structural stability. Jinmao Tower, China. Located next to the Shanghai World Financial Center, this tower held the title of China's tallest building for years, standing 420 meters or 1,378 feet tall, with 88 floors. Its shape narrows in 13 stages toward the top, evoking the silhouette of a traditional pagoda. Construction marked China's entry into the age of supertowers, with 6,000 workers, engineers from 10 countries, and hundreds of companies involved. Lake Pontchartrain, Causeway, United States. At 38 kilometers or 23.6 miles long, it held the record for the world's longest continuous bridge over water for many years. While driving across the central stretch, the road seems to vanish into the horizon, causing occasional disorientation and anxiety for some drivers. Although it sits low above the water, it has withstood hurricanes like Katrina, thanks to its flexible design and deeply anchored foundations. Ryugyong Hotel, North Korea. With its towering pyramid shape, this controversial project dominates the skyline of Pyongyang. Rising 105 stories and reaching 330 meters, or 1,083 feet, it ranks among the tallest hotel structures in the world. Construction began in 1987 with plans for 3,000 rooms and 5 revolving restaurants, but the project has been stalled for decades. Grand Lisboa Hotel, China. Located in the heart of Macau, this luxury resort and casino has become an icon of the global gaming industry. Its design resembles a golden lotus flower, a symbol of purity and spiritual ascent in both Buddhism and Taoism. Macau surpasses Las Vegas in gaming revenue, and the Grand Lisboa represents the epicenter of that financial power. Venetian Macau, China. The world's largest casino, located in Macau, a special administrative region of China. Modeled after the city of Venice, it features navigable indoor canals, Renaissance-style architecture, and replicas of Venetian landmarks. Built on reclaimed land, it required deep foundations and stabilization techniques to ensure structural safety. Empire State Building, United States. Completed in 1931 at a height of 381 meters or 1,250 feet, it held the title of the tallest building in the world for nearly 40 years. Construction began during the economic crisis of 1930 and was finished in just 410 days, though it struggled to find tenants early on. In 1933, it gained international fame when King Kong climbed its facade, a moment that cemented its place in film history. It has since appeared in hundreds of productions. Chrysler Building, United States. For a brief period in 1930, it was the tallest building on Earth, until the Empire State Building reclaimed that title. Originally built as the headquarters for the Chrysler Corporation, it was also meant to symbolize American industrial pride. Many architects consider it the finest example of Art Deco architecture ever constructed. Trans-Alaska Pipeline, United States. Stretching 1,300 kilometers or 807.7 miles from northern Alaska to the southern port of Valdez, this pipeline ranks among the longest in the world. Built between 1974 and 1977, it was driven by the discovery of vast oil reserves in Prudhoe Bay. The pipeline crosses 3 mountain ranges, hundreds of rivers and seismic zones, and features technology to keep the oil flowing hot through extreme conditions. Bogochany Hydroelectric Power Station, Russia. Nestled along the remote Angara River, this colossal hydroengineering structure plays a key strategic role in the heart of Siberia. It's part of the Angara Dam system, which also includes the massive Bratsk and Irkutsk power stations. A road runs across the top of the structure, used both for maintenance operations and as a route for local residents. Gotthard Base Tunnel, Switzerland. Stretching 57 kilometers or 35 miles. Beneath the Swiss Alps from north to south, this is the longest railway tunnel on the planet. It stands as one of the greatest feats of modern civil engineering, designed to boost rail connectivity between northern and southern Europe. At extreme depths, rock temperatures rise above 45 degrees centigrade or 113 degrees Fahrenheit, requiring the installation of advanced ventilation and cooling systems. Jiangsu Grand Theater, China. Located in Nanjing, the capital of Jiangsu Province, this majestic cultural complex has become a city landmark. Each of its 4 main auditoriums is housed in a separate, pedal-shaped structure. Drax Power Station, United Kingdom. This facility stands out for having more cooling towers than any other power plant in the world. There are 12 towers, each standing 114 meters or 374 feet tall, designed to cool the hot water used in the plant. Launched in 1974 with coal as its primary fuel, the station has since been converted to run almost entirely on biomass. Musserborden Reservoir, Austria. This artificial alpine lake was created by the monumental Musserborden Dam, one of the tallest in all of Europe. It resembles a fjord, set between peaks soaring to 3,000 meters or 9,843 feet on the edge of Hohe Tauern National Park. James Webb Space Telescope. Regarded as the most sophisticated space telescope ever built, it can observe the universe all the way back to the moments just after the Big Bang. Developed by NASA in collaboration with the ESA and CSA, it sits 1.5 million kilometers or 932,056 miles from Earth. Its deployment involved 50 critical steps, each with zero margin for error. Its primary mirror, the largest ever launched into space, can detect thermal differences as subtle as the body heat of an insect on the Moon. Golden Gate Bridge, United States. Spanning the entrance to San Francisco Bay, this iconic bridge links the city of San Francisco with Marin County. When it opened in 1937, it held the world record for the longest suspension span, 1,280 meters, or 4,200 feet, a title it kept for nearly 3 decades. The famous orange hue wasn't originally planned. Workers applied it as a rust preventative coating, but architects liked how it looked against the fog and decided to keep it. St. Mary Axe, United Kingdom. Nicknamed the Gherkin, its aerodynamic shape mimics natural spirals, such as those found in seashells. It was London's first eco-friendly skyscraper, engineered to use 50% less energy than a typical office building. The Shard, United Kingdom. Rising 310 meters or 1,017 feet into the London skyline, It has held the title of the tallest building in both the UK and Western Europe since 2012. Conceived as a vertical city, its design draws inspiration from church spires and the masts of ships navigating the Thames. Tokyo Tower, Japan. Built between 1957 and 1958, this ambitious project was intended to symbolize Japan's post-war economic recovery. Reaching 333 meters or 1,093 feet, it was the tallest structure in the country until the Tokyo Skytree was completed in 2012. From Godzilla to Sailor Moon and Your Name, its silhouette is ever present in Japanese visual culture, almost like an extra character. Tokyo Skytree, Japan. Built for broadcasting, observation, and telecommunications, this towering structure rises to 634 meters or 2,080 feet, making it the tallest tower in Japan. Its triangular base gradually transitions into a circular shape, enhancing stability and reducing wind resistance. At night, it lights up in two elegant shades, Iki, a sleek blue, and Miyabi, a refined purple, visual expressions of harmony between the modern and the traditional. Stonehenge, United Kingdom. One of prehistory's most iconic megastructures, it consists of a ring of massive standing stones topped with horizontal lintels. Its construction predates the Great Pyramid of Giza by several centuries, placing it among the oldest man-made monuments on Earth. Some stones weigh up to 40 tons and were transported from about 30 kilometers or 19 miles away, likely using sleds and large coordinated groups of people. Over a span of 1,500 years, the site underwent continuous transformation, suggesting that multiple civilizations honored its sacred importance. Mahanakhon, Thailand. Striking for its unique design, the tower appears to be sliced by a spiraling ribbon that breaks the facade into floating blocks. Standing at 314 meters or 1,030 feet, it held the title of Thailand's tallest building until 2018. The recessed areas house balconies, gardens, and private terraces, blending indoor and outdoor spaces with sweeping views. Kiel Canal, Germany. This canal links the North Sea with the Baltic Sea, saving ships a detour of 460 kilometers, nearly 286 miles, around the Jutland Peninsula. Construction began in 1887 and finished in 1895, after multiple expansions, a landmark achievement in European engineering. Initially built for the German military to move ships without circling Denmark, it eventually became a vital commercial route for Europe. Gotha Canal, Sweden. An artificial waterway cutting across southern Sweden from east to west. It connects the Baltic Sea to the North Sea. At least 58,000 Swedish soldiers took part in its excavation between 1810 and 1832, using hand tools and dynamite. The canal brought together once isolated towns and regions. Before its construction, much of the country's interior remained disconnected. Øresund Bridge, Denmark. This monumental structure links the Danish capital with the Swedish city of Malmö, spanning the Øresund Strait. It's the longest combined road and rail bridge in Europe, extending 16 kilometers, nearly 10 miles, through a combination of cable-stayed bridge, underwater tunnel, and man-made island. Turning Torso, Sweden. Located in Malmö, this twisted contemporary-style skyscraper rises to 190 meters or 623 feet and spans 54 stories, making it the tallest building in Scandinavia. Designed to represent a human figure in rotation, it conveys a sense of movement and fluidity. Each segment rotates slightly around a central axis, producing a spiraling effect that breaks away from conventional geometry. Willis Tower, United States. A defining feature of Chicago's skyline, this architectural icon held the title of tallest building in the world for 25 years, reaching 527 meters or 1,729 feet, including its antenna. It was the first to use a stepped design as both a structural reinforcement and a striking visual element. The antenna serves broadcasting and telecommunications needs, and also helped extend the building's reign as the tallest for a longer period. Lusail, Qatar. Located near Doha, this master-planned city was envisioned as a 21st century urban hub aimed at diversifying Qatar's economy. Built to be smart, sustainable, and luxurious, Lusail is designed to accommodate up to 250,000 residents. Despite its futuristic outlook, its architecture draws on traditional Arab culture, featuring shaded squares, inner courtyards, and facades suited to the desert climate. Yongjang Grand Bridge, South Korea. This major infrastructure project connects Incheon International Airport to the mainland near the city of Incheon. Combining roadways, railways, and a suspension section in a single structure, it ranks among the most complex engineering feats in South Korea. Kuwait Towers, Kuwait. These three towers, located along the Persian Gulf coast, embody Islamic cultural motifs in their design. Thousands of steel discs cover the spherical sections, painted in 8 shades of blue, green, and gray to evoke the tiled domes of ancient mosques. The uppermost sphere houses a restaurant that rotates 360 degrees every half hour, offering sweeping views of the desert horizon. Merdeka, 118, Malaysia. Standing tall in Kuala Lumpur at 679 meters or 2,228 feet, it's the second tallest building in the world after the Burj Khalifa. Its asymmetrical form and shifting planes give it a different look from every angle, symbolizing Malaysia's cultural diversity. The facade features 18,000 triangular glass panels, which create kaleidoscopic reflections that shift throughout the day. Transamerica Pyramid, United States. Located in San Francisco, its distinctive pyramid-shaped profile has made it an iconic piece of architectural design. It remained the tallest building in the city until 2018. While it's now a beloved landmark, its design initially faced criticism, with some calling it out of place. Riyadh Metro, Saudi Arabia. Currently under development in the capital city, this massive transportation network includes both underground and above-ground lines. It's the second largest metro system ever constructed, entirely from scratch at once. Featuring 6 lines, 176 kilometers or 109 miles of tracks, and 85 stations. The system blends modern Arab architectural elements with driverless train technology and standout station designs. Warsaw Tower, Poland. Rising 310 meters or 1,017 feet in the heart of Warsaw, this is the tallest skyscraper in the European Union. Located next to the city's central train station, it improves urban connectivity and revitalizes an area that was once underutilized. Aurelian Walls, Italy. Built by the Romans in the 3rd century, this defensive wall system was designed to shield the city from barbarian invasions. Construction began in 271 AD under Emperor Aurelian, and was impressively completed just 5 years later, during a time of economic and military turmoil. The walls enclosed the entire city with a perimeter of around 19 kilometers or nearly 12 miles, and stood 8 meters or 26 feet high, fortified with towers and monumental gates. Walls of Constantinople, Turkey. These formidable fortifications protected the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire for over 1,000 years. They withstood countless sieges by Huns, Persians, Arabs, Bulgars, Russians, and Crusaders, until the Ottoman artillery finally breached them in 1453. Their triple-layered system, featuring towers, battlements, passageways, and traps, was widely copied but never surpassed. Qutub Minar, India. Standing at 72 meters or 236 feet, it is the tallest brick minaret in the world and one of the oldest Islamic monuments in India. Built in concentric cylindrical segments, it contains a spiral staircase of 379 steps, winding upward through its core. Its construction spanned several decades and it required the efforts of multiple sultans, incorporating stone repurposed from 27 Hindu temples. Lotte World Tower, South Korea. Soaring to 555 meters or 1,821 feet with 123 floors, this is the tallest tower in South Korea. Its sleek silhouette is inspired by traditional Korean brush strokes, blending cultural refinement with aerodynamic efficiency. Meenakshi Amman Temple, India. This vast Hindu temple complex spans about 6 hectares or 15 acres and features 14 gopurams, or gateway towers. Each tower is adorned with thousands of sculptures depicting gods, demons, mythical creatures, celestial dancers, and sages. Often described as a city within a temple, it hosts services and activities that support daily spiritual life. Putrajaya, Malaysia. This meticulously planned city was envisioned as the future administrative capital of Malaysia. Built on what was once rural land, it's designed as a smart garden city, integrating environmental control systems and advanced water management technologies. The layout is organized into themed zones, including areas for government, commerce, recreation, embassies, housing, and education. Sayano-Shushenskaya Dam Spillway, Russia. Located beside the main dam structure, this coastal spillway is designed to redirect excess water. It was carved directly into the Siberian rock surrounding the reservoir. When in use, water surges down at high speed, resembling a massive artificial waterfall. Abraj Al Bait Towers, Saudi Arabia. Dominated by the iconic Makkah Clock Tower, this architectural complex stands across from the Holy Mosque, the spiritual center of Islam. Reaching 601 meters or 1,972 feet, the main tower ranks among the tallest buildings in the world and features the largest clock face ever constructed. It was designed to accommodate millions of pilgrims and to establish a central Islamic time reference, with a clock visible from 25 kilometers or 15.5 miles away. Akashi Kaikyo Bridge, Japan. The second longest suspension bridge on Earth, it links the city of Kobe with Awaji Island, spanning the treacherous Akashi Strait. Its cables contain 300,000 kilometers or 186,411 miles of steel wire, enough to circle the globe 7 times if laid end to end. Engineered to endure typhoons, tsunamis, and powerful earthquakes, it stands as a marvel of resilience and design. Sheikh Jabir Bridge, Kuwait. Stretching nearly 36 kilometers or 23 miles, This is the longest maritime bridge outside of China. Due to its scale and location over international waters, it is equipped with radars, surveillance cameras, marine patrols, and seismic sensors. Midway through the crossing lies a man-made service island offering fuel stations, restrooms, security posts, and rest areas. Forest City, Malaysia. Built on reclaimed islands near the Singapore border, this master-planned luxury city was designed with sustainability in mind. Its layout separates vehicle traffic, pedestrian pathways, and green spaces into distinct levels for optimized livability. Buildings are draped in vegetation, with green roofs and vertical gardens that help regulate temperature and reduce environmental impact. Lake Kariba, Zambia and Zimbabwe. By both volume and surface area, this is the largest artificial lake in the world. It was created in the 1950s following the construction of the Kariba Dam, which reshaped the local geography. As the lake filled, thousands of animals became stranded on temporary islands. In response, Operation Noah was launched, using boats to rescue them. Unfinished Obelisk of Aswan, Egypt. This ancient monument has revealed valuable insights into how the Egyptians quarried and transported colossal stone structures. Had it been completed, it would have stood 42 meters or 138 feet tall and weighed 1,000 tons, making it the largest known obelisk ever attempted. It was likely abandoned after a crack appeared in the stone, rendering it unusable. However, the reason for not repurposing the remaining sections remains unclear. Some believe it was intended for Karnak Temple or another grand structure, but its original purpose is still debated. NASA Vehicle Assembly Building, United States. For decades, this facility has been the launch prep center for the most powerful rockets ever built. Originally designed to assemble Saturn V rockets for the Apollo missions, it remains active today as part of the Artemis program. With an interior height of 160 meters or 525 feet and a length of 218 meters or 715 feet, it ranks among the world's largest buildings by volume. Starship, United States. Currently the most ambitious, powerful, and largest spacecraft ever constructed. Standing nearly 120 meters or 394 feet tall, it's designed to carry up to 100 people and was conceived from start as a vessel for interplanetary colonization. During landings, it uses a colossal ground tower called Mechazilla to catch the rocket, an engineering feat in itself. Tropical Islands Resort, Germany. Located near Berlin, This massive water park, spa, and tropical-themed entertainment complex replicates a lush island paradise. Its footprint equals 8 football fields, making it one of the largest indoor attractions of its kind. Housed inside a former aircraft hangar, the space is kept at a steady 26 degrees centigrade, or 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit, year-round. It features Europe's largest indoor beach, 200 meters or 656 feet long, with imported fine sand and a wave system for an immersive tropical experience. Skybridge 721, Czech Republic. At 721 meters or 2,366 feet long, this is the longest pedestrian suspension bridge in the world. Modeled after the high-altitude bridges of the Himalayas, its construction involved hundreds of experts in aerial transport and high-altitude engineering. Louvre, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. Celebrated as the first universal museum in the Arab world, it stands on Saadiyat Island in Abu Dhabi. Built on an artificial island, it forms part of Saadiyat's cultural district, alongside future projects like the Guggenheim Abu Dhabi. The dome features layers of metal lattices with geometric patterns. As sunlight filters through, it creates a shifting play of light that mimics palm fronds. Ostankino Tower, Russia. Located in Moscow, this communications tower reaches 540 meters or 1,772 feet and held the title of the tallest structure in the world from 1967 to 1975. Its design is inspired by the shape of a lily, with open petal-like supports at the base that evenly distribute the weight. Minaret of Jam, Afghanistan. Rediscovered in 1957, this tower lies in a remote part of the country after being forgotten by the Western world for centuries. It ranks as the second tallest brick minaret globally, constructed by the Ghurid Empire, a once sophisticated but little-known civilization. Kumbhalgarh Walls, India. Encircling the fortress of the same name, these walls were built by order of King Rana Kumbha in the mid-15th century. Stretching 36 kilometers or 22 miles, they are the second longest continuous wall in the world. The Mughal kings used this stronghold as a refuge, crucial for resisting the Mughals and northern Sultanates. Hadrian's Wall, United Kingdom. The Roman Empire built this defensive line to mark its northern boundary in Britannia and to deter tribal incursions. Constructed between 122 and 128 AD under Emperor Hadrian, it spanned 117 kilometers, about 73 miles, stood 5 meters or 16 feet tall, and featured towers at regular intervals. Besides defending the frontier, it regulated movement and collected taxes, asserting Rome's authority in a contested region. The structure was built by Roman soldiers who contended with rugged terrain, marshes, hills, and a constant need for supplies. Lesotho Highlands Water Project, Lesotho. This massive hydrological project was designed to channel water from Lesotho's highlands to South Africa through a network of dams and power stations. It has made Lesotho an exporter of water, a resource of rising strategic importance, especially within the African continent. AVE High-Speed Rail, Spain. Spain's AVE is Europe's most expansive high-speed rail network. The project has involved public investment exceeding 50 billion euro and includes tunnels, viaducts, and cutting-edge trains. Colosseum, Italy. With its elliptical shape, advanced engineering, and colossal scale, this ancient megastructure remains unrivaled in historical significance. Completed in 80 AD, it served as a propaganda tool, hosting gladiator combat, animal hunts, war reenactments, and even naval battles. Beneath the arena, a network of elevators, passageways, and cages brought beasts to the surface via hidden pulley systems. From the dust of empires to the glow of metropolises, humanity's mega-constructions whisper that nothing is beyond reach. May this journey between the eternal and modern day stay etched in memory. Until next time.